Kit Harington confirms huge news about Jon Snow spinoff. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we've got enormous, game-changing news out of Westeros that has sent shockwaves across the fandom. After months of rumors, speculation, and whispers behind closed doors, Kit Harington himself has finally confirmed huge news about the long-discussed Jon Snow spinoff series. That's right. The man who brought Jon Snow to life for 8 unforgettable seasons has broken his silence and given fans the most concrete update yet. And let me tell you, this isn't just another rumor. This is Kit himself, speaking on the future of his most iconic role, and his words have lit the fandom on fire. Ever since Game of Thrones ended in 2019 with its controversial finale, people have debated endlessly about Jon's fate. Exiled beyond the wall, stripped of his titles, carrying the weight of killing Daenerys, his story never felt finished. Fans wanted more, but HBO stayed quiet. Until now. In today's video, we're breaking down exactly what Kit Harington said, why this confirmation is such a huge deal, what it means for the future of the Game of Thrones universe, how fans are reacting, and what kind of story this spinoff could tell. So, grab your cloaks and sharpen your Valyrian steel, because winter is coming again. And this time, it's Jon Snow's world we're about to step back into. So what exactly did Kit Harington confirm? In a recent interview, Kit was asked point-blank about the rumors surrounding the Jon Snow spinoff. Instead of dodging the question like he had in the past, Kit finally gave fans the answer they've been waiting for. Yes, the project is real, it's alive, and it's moving forward. According to Kit, discussions about the Jon Snow spinoff have been ongoing for more than a year. He revealed that not only has HBO shown serious interest, but early development is already underway. Writers are drafting scripts, creative teams are brainstorming story arcs, and crucially, Kit himself is directly involved, both as the star and as an executive producer. That means Kit isn't just stepping back into Jon's boots. He's helping decide where those boots will take him. In his own words, he explained, "Jon's ending in the original series was powerful, but unfinished. I've always felt there was more to explore about where he goes and who he becomes after being sent beyond the wall. This project is about finding that story. This is monumental. For years, HBO has teased spin-offs, most of them prequels like House of the Dragon. But never before has a cast member from the original show come forward to spearhead a continuation of their own character's journey. Kit's confirmation changes the landscape entirely. And if that wasn't enough, Kit also dropped hints about the tone of the series. He said it won't simply be about action or spectacle, but about identity, redemption, and survival. That suggests we're in for a darker, more personal exploration of Jon Snow, one that digs into the trauma he endured and the choices he made. The bottom line? Kit confirmed that the Jon Snow spinoff is very real, and fans should prepare themselves for a return to the North. Now let's talk about why this confirmation is such a big deal. For starters, the Game of Thrones franchise has been in an unusual place since the original show ended. House of the Dragon proved HBO could still deliver quality Westeros content, but many fans still felt burned by how the main series concluded. The Jon Snow spinoff has always been seen as a potential redemption project, something that could tie up loose ends and restore faith in the brand. But until now, it was just rumor. The fact that Kit himself confirmed it makes the project real in a way it wasn't before. When the actor most associated with the character is publicly acknowledging it, that is a signal to fans. This is happening. Second, this is groundbreaking because it's the first sequel to Game of Thrones. Every other project in development has been a prequel, diving into Targaryen history or Dunk and Egg's adventures. But this is different. This picks up right where we left off. That's huge, because it means HBO isn't afraid to revisit the most divisive chapter of the saga. And finally, Kit's involvement as executive producer ensures that this isn't just a cash grab. It's a passion project. Kit cares deeply about Jon Snow. He knows the fans care too. That means this show has the potential to be character-driven, thoughtful, and faithful to the spirit of the original series. In short, Kit's confirmation isn't just news. It's a game-changer for Westeros. Let's rewind for a moment. To really understand the weight of this announcement, we need to revisit where Jon's story ended. At the conclusion of Game of Thrones, Jon's life was in ruins. He had discovered his true identity as Aegon Targaryen, heir to the Iron Throne. He had fought in the greatest battles of his time, from the Battle of the Bastards to the Long Night. And then, in the show's final episodes, he was forced into an impossible choice: kill Daenerys to save the realm, or watch her burn it all down. Jon chose duty over love, stabbing Daenerys in the throne room. But instead of being hailed as a savior, he was branded a traitor. To avoid war between her followers and the rest of Westeros, Bran and the council sentenced Jon to exile. The final scene of the series showed Jon leading the free folk north of the Wall, Ghost and Tormund by his side. It was bittersweet. Some saw it as freedom, others as punishment. But one thing was clear: Jon's journey wasn't truly over. And that's where the spinoff picks up. Kit has said that Jon's ending wasn't happily ever after. Instead, it was a broken man walking into an uncertain future. That's the story the spinoff will tell: the man behind the legend, and what comes after exile. So, what could the Jon Snow spinoff actually be about? Let's explore some of the most likely directions. 1. Life beyond the Wall. Jon's final scene was beyond the Wall. That's the most obvious starting point. The free folk view Jon as a leader, but life in the far north is harsh. We could see him helping rebuild their communities, facing the unforgiving climate and defending them against new threats. 2. The lingering supernatural. While the Night King is dead, George R.R. Martin's lore makes it clear that the North is still full of mysteries. Could there be surviving White Walkers? Could old magics awaken? The spinoff could explore darker, more mystical elements that Game of Thrones barely touched. 3. Westeros can't forget him. Even in exile, Jon is a Targaryen with a claim to the throne. What if political factions in Westeros still see him as a threat or a potential savior? Could Sansa, Arya, or even Bran send for him? The spinoff could tie his northern story back to the politics of the South. 4. Jon's inner conflict. This might be the most important thread. Jon has lost so much: Ygritte, Daenerys, his family. He's lived and died for duty. The spinoff could focus on Jon wrestling with his trauma, guilt, and identity. Who is Jon Snow without the Watch, without Daenerys? 5. New characters and cultures. We could meet entirely new factions beyond the Wall, tribes never seen before, with their own histories and threats. This would expand the map of Westeros in exciting ways. Ultimately, the spin-off storylines will balance survival, fantasy, and deep character exploration. And with Kit involved, we know Jon's personal journey will be at the heart of it. The fandom's response to Kit's confirmation has been massive.